325 miles later, the new Lightning is almost here. Stay tuned. Got it pushed in a little. Not terrible. Let me see the camera.
7?
Yeah,
no,
7.
They're heavy because the forklift won't steer when I pick it up. You know.
Yeah, I remember last time it was all you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7,000. Yeah. He had a tag on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She looks good. Door panel's bad. We ordered one of those. Somebody stole the tonneau. Somebody stole the tonneau cover.
What?
It had a tonneau cover on it at Copart.
did it?
Somebody stole it. That's all right. I'll buy one. Just typical people, you know.
That's it. I don't think it would have blown off.
No. I ordered the taillight. I saw that, but I didn't see the dent. This door is not quite fitting right. I'll have a little work to do there, but we got back from picking the truck up yesterday from Dallas. Took 650 miles, about 13 and a half hours with dinner and loading and all that. So she is home. 23 red lariat extended range. Very nice truck. Got a little more damage than we thought. They always do. We're going to do a quick walk around and show you some of the stuff we saw in the pictures, some of the stuff that we missed in the pictures, kind of give you an idea of how these builds go when they first come in, when you're buying these wrecked vehicles sight unseen. First of all, just take that in. I just love this red. It's one of my favorite colors they ever made. So first thing you'll notice is bumper gap, not quite 2 fingers, full 2 fingers. So bumper brackets are bent back just a little bit. Those probably can be straightened. That's pretty common when anytime you get something tapping that front bumper, which it looks like it did on the other side. Like I mentioned yesterday in the video, they've evidently had a tag bracket or something. So guys, don't put a tag bracket on your truck. I don't know that that's what it was. Actually looking at it, I don't think that is. I think it was rubbing up against something else. So we'll have to paint this front bumper. We'll pop it off, take everything apart, and that's not clipped in quite right. And then this has got a scrape on it, which we'll sand that bottom piece down. We're gonna color match the upper grill to the bottom grill. So stay tuned on the video for that. But let's kind of look at some close details here to make sure like our headlights aren't broken. Our hood line on this side looks good. Obviously the other side's gonna have some damage, but if you look down this side of the truck, I don't see a single thing. This side looks perfect. It does have some Cooper tires on it and they are in good shape, but I don't like them. They're gonna be loud, they're not gonna be efficient, so we're gonna end up swapping those out. Back end appears to be perfect. Can't open the tailgate because the truck is completely dead, so we're going to get it on a charger here this morning and get that 12 volt going up, charged up. I did see the tail light was broke in the pictures on Copart. I did miss this, so wasn't planning on painting this bedside. Now we are. So with that said, we'll end up painting the entire side. So we'll blend here in the cab corner. We got to do this door because there's a little bit of damage here. You can probably see. Just massage that out and repaint. I did also notice we're going to have to figure out how to adjust the door. I'm sure the door got moved. She's a little out at the top and a little in at the bottom. So I'm guessing when this door went back, it's pushed this door in and pulled that out. It's probably an adjustment issue because this door does open and close just fine. I'm not seeing, and if you look into the pillar, I'm not seeing anything bent on those hinges. I am sure it slipped in the hinges. So that's pretty common that happens. It's like sand or salt or something all inside this truck. But the good find here does have the lockable storage underneath the back seat. I love it. I use that all the time. But yeah, the door is expected. That's what we thought we were going to see. I was hoping the running board wasn't damaged, but hit on this side, obviously, it's probably going to be. So we have another one. The question is if this rocker is bent at all once we get that door open, and I can't see it right now. I suspect it probably is, but if you look down this angle, if it is, it's a slight bow. It's really not going to be much. So the big thing that I didn't know and wasn't sure is this A-pillar. So it is pushed in. I don't know how much yet. I'm hoping we can get a hold of that with the frame machine and just pull the A-pillar back out and then cut the outer skin off and replace it, because we do have one. These are like $300, so I'm glad to see that this isn't broken. We can just buff that up, wax that up a little bit. We do have the door, we do have the fender. The hood is bent on the edge. If it can be straightened, we will straighten that. If not, I have one. Doesn't look like the wheel is going to be usable as is. There's a big gouge in it here, scratch. So this piece might just pop back in once we get the new fender and the new bracket in place, because that's yeah, I need to order one of those. That bracket's broke. Big question I had is the headlight going to be okay? And it appears as though it is. I don't see anything on that headlight that's jumping out at me. So the hood line is part of the line why this is misaligned a little bit and gappy, because this bracket hooks to this headlight hooks to the fender. So if you look down that line, it's pretty far off right now, but the fender's destroyed. So that's part of that. Now, if we look up underneath the front end, you're going to see some of the real damage. What I like to see is there's not really any frame damage. That's a good thing. I think our ears for our A-arm, I don't know if you can be able to pick it up in the camera. So the ears for the A-arm on this is laid back just a tiny little bit, maybe like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And those move pretty easy below this structure. So these are just ears that hang down. So you can move these back over with a porta power pretty easy. The front ones are super rigid. Obviously you see grease and stuff everywhere. That's from the axle. We have a new axle. I did go ahead and order the lower control arm just because I've been through this, and when they're bent, they don't work out too well for alignment. And it does come with the new ball joint, and the ball joint's obviously broke. I can't tell if the brake line's going to be bad. It looks like it. We'll end up ordering a brake line, and then we ordered this spindle. The upper control arm looks to be good. I do see that this is popped out, so I'm probably going to need to order the the sway bar link. Everything else looks good. You know, the wheel's obviously just kind of hanging out there. It rode all the way home like that. So that's also got a little tear right here on this, and the active air dam appears to be in good shape. So I have this part in stock. So everything looks good. Let's jump inside the truck and see what we can see in there. You know, if you're from Tampa, Florida, and you're watching this and you got hit in the passenger side on your Lightning, hit me up. I wouldn't mind talking to you. So let's jump in here. First thing you notice, airbags are deployed on the curtain, not the steering wheel and not the knee and not the passenger. So that's a good thing. The truck will not start. It won't come on. So I'm sure the 12 volt is dead or disconnected. A lot of times they'll disconnect them. So once we get the hood popped, which we should do that here in a second, do it live with me. So Has this slider console divider, but as you've seen guys before, I've put the lightning one in. It's full coverage. I like it better because I use this space up top a lot more than that lower. So we'll do that. It does have the flip out console. Airbags in the seats are also blown. So a lot of cars, when they blow the seat airbags, it just tears the stitching out of the seat. These rip the seats, and I see this a lot on Fords, is this will rip this seat right here, and that's what makes these, you know, yes, you could stitch it back up and have a stitch across here, but that's not ideal. It takes a lot of time, about a weekend, to swap out the leather to the black lariat leather, which I'm going to do on this one, but I like the black lariat leather better anyway. So let's see if we can get the frunk open. In the kick panel, you've got your red tab, just pull it a couple times. Let's see. There it opened all the way. Sometimes it only goes so far and you got to hit it twice. If they have been in here before, okay, are we going to have a mobile charger or no? Nope, you don't ever get those. People hang on to those. So somebody's been in here jump starting it to get it going. Let's grab the jump starter out of the truck and hook it up and see if we can figure out how to get this truck to have a little bit of power. Okay, so let's get this hooked up. First I want to hook up my positive, and then I'm going to turn it on. And the reason I do this is I want to put it into the bypass mode, because when that battery's completely dead, this won't recognize it. Hold that down for 3 seconds, you'll see the lights come on. Let's go ahead and hook this up here. We got a spark, so it needed quite a bit of juice. Truck's starting to come to life. Let's jump back inside and see if we can figure out what software level we're on. See how up to date this truck is. Most of these trucks have not been updated to the point where things are, you know, system off to save battery, and that's doing that because it's, you know, it's not happy right now. Okay. Brake system, service advanced track, all these lights are going to be because of the wreck. So pretty normal. Yeah, that's all normal. So turn off the air conditioner here. So if you are BK's iPhone or Jirpong, yeah, if you're on here, hit me up. So this has been updated. These are the newer icons. Let's see what we have in here. Driver assistance. Actually, let's go down to software updates and we'll bump back to driver assistance. So the window performance, that's a fairly new one. So let's jump back over here to driver assistance. Adaptive cruise control. Lane centering with hands-free. That's a good sign, but it does not have Blue Cruise 1.4 yet. So we will have to go in and do that ourselves, which is, you know, not a big deal. And it's also not going to have the charge speed on the dash, which we will add because we know how to do that here at Martin Rebuilds. Yeah, the system's pretty up to date. Not terribly far behind. It needs some updates. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this connected to the app, and then we'll get some parts coming in so we can get that suspension at least back up on its feet to drive it off the trailer. I really like this truck to move on its own power off the trailer. So yeah, there was some grease there. Missed that. Anyhow, we'll talk to you soon.